JWO Juggalo World Order.
We got the killer on board. We're sitting here just shooting the shit, enjoying some laughs, having some fun, maybe getting serious. What do you say, Prez?
Oh, you know, it's the same Fago, different bottle with me, brother.
Yep. Good to see you down there, Kevin Chase. Been a minute,
Yeah, been way too damn long.
right? What have you been suffering from? Injury?
Yeah. The knee's getting better, but it's still a process.
Keep
Yep.
yourself strong there, killer. Keep yourself strong, man.
I was glad to see you though in action, kind of semi-action. You did that a little bit. We saw the XUC footage, looking great out there as usual. Good job on taking that guy out too.
Yeah, not too bad for working on one leg.
The one man in the ass kicking contest. Awesome.
He's the guy to do it though. He's the guy to get it done.
The luck of the juggalo right there.
Right?
Hey, there was no luck involved in that.
Good for you. Go in there, kill him, and get the fuck out.
Well,
Exactly.
that's why that's why you named him the killer, TJ, because he just does a devastating job on these guys. I found another clip, the time that he destroyed El Loco. It was such a devastating just choke slam. You could just see the guys quivering, like his body was spasming on the canvas. It was kind of funny in a sick, twisted way.
Oh, definitely.
I'm gonna be honest, TJ. I went to the stores today and after doing some stuff, and I seen Halloween shit. I'm already in Halloween mode. I got my Nightmare on Elm Street shit. Like, things are about to get wicked. I mean, if the stores were already pushing Halloween, I might as well start pushing Halloween.
Hell yeah. I got myself a new freaking shirt and everything too right here, rocking the fucking Punisher.
Hell yeah. Good stuff.
Probably might actually wear that on the next fucking show because I'm going to be doing fucking punishing.
Hell yeah, that's what you do. That's what the JWO does, punish.
Hell yeah.
We saw my little bit of punishment that I had to endure when I had to take on picks. We talked about that with you and VP. And I guess, I don't know, I think VP, I heard, is coming tonight. I don't know, he's having some technical issues. Hopefully he can get on board. If not, we will catch him on the next episode. But you know how that goes. Luck of a juggalo. Everything can line up, and then that last missing piece will just not be there.
Yeah. That's why a lot of freaking juggalos are actually like wrestlers and shit, whether it's backyard or not. Guarantee a lot of them have participated. And the luck of the juggalo is really relatable to the luck of a wrestler. We're always the first to go and then the last to know,
Yeah, I hear you. Let me ask you something, because you would know best. Would you say that, like, the juggalo chooses the wrestling life, or the wrestling life has chosen the juggalo?
I don't really know. Personally, I'm getting my belief system to be like the universe is basically almost like wrestling. Because a lot of it's almost, I'll break down the curtains for this thing. A lot of this is almost like planned out. It feels that way,
Well, yeah, I mean, it is a lot of scripting. I mean, look at my background. You really think I'm sitting in space, TJ? No, like I'm in my crib, but like but appearance and what you see is everything. And think about the news and think about how things can be manipulated and how things can be made to work in someone else's favor and us not even know about it.
Yeah, it's true, brother. It's
I
true.
mean, we might be powerful and we might be able to pull strings, within our wrestling realm, but there's, much bigger fish out there that can pull strings on us.
Yeah, it's only so much that you can fucking do, you know?
I mean, look at the corporation that we're fighting in KPW, our war against the founding fathers. They're much bigger than us. They have a much more manpower, firepower,
Oh yeah,
a much more pull. They pulling information, like I said, we've been threatened, we've been visited. They know where we live, they know where our family lives, they know where everybody lives. But we're fighting, we're taking them on.
yeah,
Yeah, and you know what? When I
it's a-
look around, I see the Prez, I see the VP, I see picks. I don't like their chances.
yeah.
And that's the
We're
thing,
fucking, we're fucking dangerous and shit, and they gotta fucking know this and shit. They're so powerful and almighty, yet they mess around with us like they think they know us. I think personally they're playing Undertaker games right now. It's all mind games and smoke and mirrors and shit, and they're seeing us as a threat, so they're coming out even stronger. So now I know that we're under their fucking skin. And you know what? I'm actually like McDonald's right now. I'm fucking loving it.
well, that's the thing, I'm dying to know who the freak this really. I'm gonna say, fuck it, who the fuck it is, because I have a feeling they know the old us. They think they know the old us. They think they know something that maybe is a shadow of us, a hint of us. They don't know our true potential. They have no idea what the fuck they're getting themselves into. They don't really know who's pulling strings here and who can play a game of who's sicker. We are, we're a different breed of species here at the JWO. The things that we find funny, a lot of people find repulsive. A lot of people get offended and things that we kind of talk about sometimes. And this isn't like a political offensive way. This isn't like any of that. What, we got bugs over here? I don't even know. But not like offensive like that, not like racism or anything like that. Just the things that we would look at, horror movies, our horror interests, the gore, all that stuff. A lot of people would be turned away by it. They don't like this, they don't like that. We would be sitting there laughing, thinking it's like a comedy. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about, and we even VP loves his horror movies. Pix,
Oh
we know
no,
he Pix makes his
we're
own horror movies, for crying out loud,
Are you kidding me? Pix
he
is a horror
Twinkle he
movie.
does his own fucking
right?
stories and shit.
Well, yeah.
And that's a mystery, to be honest with you. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna take him, but if he is listening out there, trust me, brother, there's a plan coming too. Death Day 2 comes around. I wouldn't really want to be you if you decide to step up to the plate. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. There's going to be, as more footage is getting released, and a lot of, like you talked about, puzzle pieces fitting together, and we got more stories to tell, and there's more things that took place, and things start lining up, and you really see there is a bigger picture to all this. But you're right. We do have the upper hand in a lot of ways. There's some stuff I'm not going to disclose, obviously, because I mean that's for our chat room. That's for when we have to, get battle ready. But this, they're not used to fighting a group. They're used to fighting weak individuals, pulling people that are at their end of their careers, they're looking to prove something, thinking they're the king of the world, to come out there, be the most badass person. And they're the ones that fail the hardest. I'm sorry to say. They're the ones that get hurt. This isn't a game of checkers. You're not gonna fucking win like that. This is a game of chess. Some of these guys, they're our pawns too, We have our own pawns. And we're making moves now, and now we're starting to move our other, pieces out. And pretty soon our queen is gonna be in line, and they're gonna be a checkmate, and it's gonna be end of the game for for the KPW founding fathers. I hate to say it on them, because under certain circumstances, I think we could all be friends.
Oh hell yeah! The type of strangeness that they are and shit. Yeah, it beckons us to be interested in shit. And to be honest, as the president of the JWO New England chapter, I have to say, just like you said, VP's into horror and everything. We all are. We were horror actors, me and the VP. But yeah, when it comes to comparison, Yeah, I could foresee that and shit. The thing is we'd have to fucking break them to the point where they know, like, how can I say it? Almost like you're trying to tell somebody that they're your brother and they're just trying to fight you and say, no, you're not. Get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, but even at the end of the day, Luke came to realization that Vader was his dad. He accepted
Yep.
that shit.
Yep. I don't know what the hell's gonna happen with this freaking company and shit, but I'm psyched about the freaking events and shit. I got to admit that the locker room is always in and out and shit, but I got to admit, I do like the people that I've seen come through the freaking doors and curtains and the fights that they've had and shit. I do like it. A couple of it was a little bit weak, but I think that was personally their little comedy tour in ways to see if they could play around with us like fucking marionettes. And when it comes to us, they're fine. They're in ways I'm noticing that they're wowing a lot of posts about me and shit, which technically to me, it's not a wow that's amazing. It's more like a whoa, I think I fucked up, type of thing. And it's good. That means we, not just me, but we're getting in their fucking head. Me personally, I'm borrowing every fucking day. I don't fucking stop. And there's the VP right there. All you gotta do is connect the audio. What up, VP?
What's up, kid?
What is going on?
What's up?
We got the whole clan here. This is great. All the JW here. You got the killer, the president, the VP. The only one in here is Pitch, but he's probably watching or he's working, most likely working on another victim. Dude,
So, Pickles is pretty busy today with certain things.
Only people that we don't have here is our prospects and our lieutenant, our LT. But that's okay, People can't make it. It's no problem. We're not.
It's okay. We're going to be doing this a lot. We're going to be doing this weekly. This is going to be a weekly thing. That is it. JW. We're going to be here having fun and serious talk. Like right now, we're talking a little serious. We're talking about fighting the founding fathers. I mean, this is some real deal shit. We know what we're up against. We know the stakes. We know what's on the line. The president, VP have been through this. But Killer, you have not, and you've now received a letter. They've called your name out, talking about your past. I think I can pull it up. We can read it. It should be on their Facebook page, I believe. Let me see. Never know.
Yeah, that in a way, it surprised me, but it didn't surprise me. But yeah, it surprised me. I'm like, okay, yeah, they're getting serious now. And
yeah, they got Kevin. So I was like, how the hell did they find out about Kevin?
Yeah, they called me out. They definitely got my attention, and they might find that that's not necessarily a good thing.
Well, yeah,
no, like I said,
wait. They called you?
No, they called me out.
They called him out.
They called you. I thought they personally found your fucking number because I've gotten calls before too. That's why I don't sleep with my do not disturb thing on anymore, because I never know with these fuckers.
Nah, but I've had some strange cars going. I live in this little backwoods neighborhood right now. And I've had some cars going by, some black SUVs and whatnot that I've never seen before, going slowly by my house.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder,
they're staking you out. They're staking you out.
Let me ask you a serious question on this, because they did this to me and shit. Have you noticed? Because independent wrestlers, we don't have the popularity as like MJF and John Moxley and shit. We're not that popular. But have you noticed that people?
Would somebody tell Rook Mikey about that? I mean, the Rook thinks you're all fucking WWE superstars.
Yeah, right. But seriously, Kev, Killer, have you seen anybody just like randomly videotaping you on a phone or taking not selfies but clicking pictures on their phone? They get really close to you and you hit a click.
Now that I think about it, yeah, once or twice.
Oh,
Yeah. You want to know the truth on that? Travel all the way down to my timeline and you'll see a post about that. I literally was walking and I caught somebody following me and taking pictures. I took a picture of them taking a picture of me, but it's their silhouette on a garage door. They were aiming like this. So I clicked the photo right there for even more proof. I'm like, you know what? I know these motherfuckers are following me. And I took a few more
yeah.
pictures. I'm not sure if they're on that post in particular, but I do know that one post picture is on there, I believe, with the silhouette taking a picture of me behind my back.
Yeah.
And,
Um,
that's
I was
fine.
just
They want to play games, they can play games. What they don't realize is that the JWO, we don't play games, we go to war.
we
Yeah,
do.
absolutely.
I'm gonna read the letter though that they had posted that called you out. It goes like this. I'm just gonna read it. Kevin Chase, where do we begin? Question mark, question mark, question mark. You were such a bright superstar under Butch! Exclamation points. Had some great matches with notable talent. You had a future. Bunch of, exclamations. Then, like the rest, you disappeared, exclamations. Which, I'm guessing they mean because a lot of the guys in KBW took some breaks, took some time. Not like a scared dog, you come back to this world with your tail between your legs. Well, it's now or
Dogs
never,
can't get
Kevin.
me.
Your time is now. Listen for the beep of the wagon. I'm guessing that's the black SUVs following you around. Who knows? But I mean, they pulled out your past. I've done my own research on you as the keeper, so I know kind of the references they're making to your old trainer and, some of the, your break and everything. Just because I've had to do that as JW, and that's what you have me do is investigate. And that's what I do. I investigate our
Absolutely.
prospects before they're made. But this is kind of personal, and this goes back. This goes back some years.
Yeah, it does.
They've been
And
following
this
shit
person
for
has
fucking
made
years.
references to all of us in our way past, going back some years. Knowing you, Rob, knowing TJ, training under old man Tucker. Those like the earliest days of TJ Tucker as your training days. You know what I mean? Like,
When they
young
mentioned my
lad.
grandfather right there, old man Tucker, that got me so fucking heated. That got me fucking pissed. The fact that they were watching him, my fucking bloodline family, the one that got me pretty much into this business just by ideas and watching WWF alone, and admitted to me one time that yes, he did work the Carney circuit and he wasn't that big, but it wasn't wrestling that he taught me. He taught me how to fucking fight. And that's what I do.
well, that's good because in KPW, that's what they want. They don't want to wrestle. They don't want you to come out there and start doing razzling, dazzling, or whatever they fucking, the shit that Jim Cornette would be yelling and screaming about. They don't even want fucking regular wrestling. They don't want any. They want you to fight for your life. They want to see the fear in your eyes or the hatred, and they want to see you unleash it. They want to see you unleash that monster that they know that's deep inside each and every one of us, them, and whoever our competitors are. They want to bring out the worst in us and watch us destroy each other. That is the point of them. That's what they got. They got nothing else. They don't want to see us succeed. They don't want to see us, make limelight, become famed. They don't care about any of that. They just want to see us destroy each other. They're sick.
And you know what? You say that they want to see us destroy each other. Yeah, I really feel that vibe too and shit. Trying to get us to turn because that's the way they started with VP down there and shit. Started with him planting bugs in his ear and shit, promising him things. And I know one thing that really fucking pisses them off too and shit. You see, they weren't planning on this. They were not planning on this. But they gave me a match, and they thought they were being smart by including my VP in it to go against me, thinking, oh, he just might switch because there's another belt involved right now and shit. Nope. My VP stood behind and said, this is your title match. Go ahead and take him. And you know what?
Yeah.
You know what really
Yes, I
pisses me
did.
off now? The fact that we got the JWO in here. It's a bunch of fucking juggalos and homies. We're raising hell. And one of them so far has captured the mid-card interstate championship right here.
Let me ask you something, because that footage was destroyed when the warehouse was raided. Tell me about that match. Tell us what happened during that match. I want to fucking know. People want to know. People have been asking me, how did he win? What did he do? Like, I know he won it, but how? Why? We don't have proof. But tell us the story. How? Would they bring you there?
Personally, what happened was they dropped me off at this simpleton's like house, almost complex or some shit, and VP's walking the other way and shit. And I'm like, oh, you're here? So he shows me the picture on his phone of the match. I take a look at it. I'm like, who's the third person? They didn't mark the third person right there. I'm seeing as a silhouette. He's like, I don't fucking know, bro. So I'm like, oh, yeah, this is perfect. Watch this. He's going to be fucking 8 feet tall, 550 pounds. There goes the VP and the president of the JWO before things even happen. So out of nowhere, we get us not escorted. We have to, of course, ping our phones, go into this place, go downstairs and shit, and find our way in this storage room. It's got gates piled to the rafters with freaking people's, shit that lives in the building, different spots and everything. Some of the cages are open, a lot of them are closed. It's a decent, clean place and shit. At least there was air conditioning, actually amazing.
Yeah, which was very amazing.
Came through the door and shit, and I'm hearing my music playing. So I'm coming through. Stops.
I love how they get it all in this grimy, gritty, fucking just dirty fucking location, right? But for their own enjoyment, they'll play fucking the music, right? They'll pump through the music. They'll make it comfortable. They'll buy AC, but it'll be in the shittiest fucking hole.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, absolutely.
It's just for their own enjoyment. That's what I'm saying. They're comfortable because they want to be watching it. Had they been watching it live feed somewhere else, they wouldn't have bought no AC. You would have been fighting in the heat.
Oh yeah, they're fucking they're torturers and shit. But we go down there and it's us at first. I'm looking. I'm going, okay, so obviously it is you. Now who the fuck is the silhouette? Out comes this motherfucker.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
VP.
Yep. That's what we just said to each other too. Like, oh my god.
I know. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my god.
So we go in. This motherfucker comes out. This motherfucker comes out. He's got a fucking Jamaican pot hat, with the African colors and shit. That what was it? Black, green, yellow, and it dreadlocks down to here and shit with a fucking army shirt, I think it was. And he's got that V for Vendetta mask and shit. So I'm thinking maybe this guy's attached to the anonymous group. And me personally, I really kind of don't like the anonymous group. So I'm looking at that mask and I'm going, well, there's my hatred right there and shit. This motherfucker's down in the ground. And I look at VP and he's like, I don't even know if I want to touch him. So like,
yeah, no shit. I was like, yeah.
This kid in half right here and shit. He looks a little stubby, but goddamn, man, send us somebody. This is for a title. Send me and Rob somebody that we can't chew. We have to.
Well, like they find the worst of the worst. Like I feel like they okay. They'll go to like, for instance, this is a story I heard. For instance, is the killer still with us?
Yeah, he's there.
Okay,
he's there.
Cool. I know, because I heard this interesting story, and I heard like they'll go like once a year. They'll go to some of like 4 or 5 of the worst jails or prisons in America, and they'll like go to death row and actually find people and pull them out of death row and be like, no, not your KPW. And just put them into fight.
Okay. Thank you for that little piece of information, Keeper.
Because I've been doing some research. As you know, I've been taking pictures. I've been trying hard, but I found photos. I've been getting photos of the old man. I'm trying hard to really find his info. I want to know about this motherfucker. He really is the one piece that really, I think I can follow him. I can get to the rest of it. But he's like my little breadcrumb. So I've been kind of following him. But within that trail, I've been doing research. I've been finding out some information. There's been some, loose ends I've been kind of tying up from people that have given me little blips and blurps. Check here, check there, go to room A and fucking look behind the mirror kind of shit. Some of it. People are very fucking it's very cryptic. People don't want to really speak out against the founding fathers, to be honest with you. A lot of them live a comfy, cozy life because of the founding fathers. So a lot of them don't want to speak out. So I'm picking up little pieces here, and luckily I'm good at puzzles. But one of the things I did notice is they do pull some death row inmates out. Especially they really like the violent ones, and they just make them keep fighting, kind of like the old gladiator days. You just keep fighting till you're dead. Just go, don't. That's it.
Yeah, they're
So who
almost
knows where
running
this
like
Jamaican dude actually came from? You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck knows who he is? Probably was some killer in his own country. Um, you know.
they're doing a fucking. It just kind of hit me because I've seen the 2 movies so far. Actually, 3 or 4 technically, because they did a spinoff too. But Undisputed,
Yeah.
the movie Undisputed. Wesley Snipes did the first one, played the bad guy, but I like the second one better. I like the story behind it and shit. And
Yeah.
man, what they did to this motherfucker just to make him fight and everything and shit, and the fights got really raw. It makes you respect both of the freaking fighters at the end of the movie. But the thing was, these guys, that they run the fucking prison. The Russian mob runs this fucking prison, and they get these prisoners, whoever they are, to fight in this competition. And they don't care if they kill them, break bones, or what the fuck ever. But yeah, they're going for death row and everything. Jesus, they're pulling like longest yard shit to try to go against us, or just recruit in the KPW locker room. So yeah, we're gonna have to actually watch our asses too and pull the nod action and shit. Go into a room and see each other, just pull the little. Yep.
And there's another shady motherfucker that I'm after, and his name is just, this is all I know. I've seen photos, but I've never seen him in action. And it's some dude called the Surgeon. It seems to be their in-house doctor, which I don't know if he's like, when they say in-house doctor, I'm guessing he tends to all the in-house fighters. Because now you got to remember, we're fighting in cages. People are getting mangled, but not necessarily killed. I mean, some of them I don't know what happens after, but I mean, nobody in depth, they actually died, but people got injured. So they must have a doctor, because you're not just going to start sending a bunch of fighters to the hospital, right? That's kind of crazy. That's how you get caught. So they have an in-house doctor, an in-house surgeon that fixes bones, does all this weird shit. I guess he's a real psychopath. I guess he used to wrestle. He doesn't wrestle anymore. I'm not really sure, but he's their in-house doctor. It's a very weird situation.
Here's the thing: on Death Day 1, you can't really notice because that main event for the mass hold title was done pretty much at night, so you can't really see me bleeding. But I was bleeding from the mouth and shit, and I got punched good in the freaking gut a couple times, even with the bitch, and few rolls. So I was spitting up some blood and shit, and they were like, all right, gotta go see the medic. So I'm like, got a medic here? They take me over and shit, and this dude comes out and shit, and it wasn't, I don't think it was him. I don't think they had him yet. But the way that they were running medical terminology over there, it was fucked up.
That was their earlier days. They probably have gotten more organized now, I would guess, but they had already some in-house people working on you. So maybe, who knows, they failed, and what happens when you fail, and to the founding fathers. But
from what I've gathered, you're never really seen again.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. They have the power to make people disappear and not get caught. They're not in the news. You don't hear about it. You don't even hear about underground, you don't even hear about like this underground fighting club, KBW. You don't hear about it anywhere. It's nowhere to be seen. The news don't pick it up. You would think, the news has picked up some wild stuff over the years. The news has found out about, for instance, like pit bull fighting and other illegal activities, correct? We've seen, even superstars like Mike Vick getting caught, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Okay. But now we got a bunch of humans, some of them former inmates, killers, mass murdering, serial killers, psychopaths, all sorts of deranged people, and some normal people, some just average, everyday schmo wrestlers trying to make a living.
Yeah.
Fighting each other to near death, and then some of them never coming back, but the news and the media just won't pick it up. They won't touch it. Why do you think that? I mean, what kind of pull do you have to be that to be that?
Well, I'll tell
I
you
mean,
something,
they have that
Colin.
invisibility cloak. That's what it is. I mean, they got this magic cloak. They're not getting picked up on radars. You know, we were at that day one, okay? We saw it. We all saw it. We all saw the cops come. We all saw
Yeah.
the cops leave.
Yeah, we
We
did.
all
Yes,
saw
we had.
no
Yeah.
words we
Yes, we
said.
did.
Yep.
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 No words were even said. They just took a
No.
look at the
Yep.
cameraman and he fucking left.
Yep.
Yeah.
What world and where in America does that happen that a cop, a police
Turned
officer, one of
right
the people
the
that
fuck
have the
around
most
and went
power
back to the
trips?
car.
A lot of them have a lot of power trip, right? They just fucking bow before some camera guy because he gave them a look.
Yeah, that's fucking wild, man. That was wild.
I
That
mean,
really,
to be honest with you, that moment there scared me probably the most in KPW.
you took the
Yeah.
words right
Yeah.
out of
When
my
I
mouth,
see,
people.
law enforcement and others just like almost shook or like sorry, apologetic to
Yeah,
a cameraman because
it
they're
really,
related to
it
some other
really
bigger
makes me
dude.
wonder what kind of pull. Just like you said, it really makes me wonder what kind of pull that they fucking have and shit.
And
I mean,
the thing is I didn't recognize the cameraman. He wasn't a celebrity. He wasn't somebody famous. But
No.
whatever that look that he gave to this dude, like he knew whatever he was saying by that look and who he was working with and what the founding fathers were. And he was just like, I'm out. Bye. I'm sorry to bother you out. This won't happen again. And it didn't. It never came
No.
again.
No. He never came again.
And that's just crazy to me. And mind you, we're in a cemetery, a public place.
Yeah. A public place.
And
yeah.
but mind
And
you,
shit,
nobody visited
yep.
that day. Did you notice nobody was really visiting? We didn't see anybody visiting anybody.
Yeah,
We didn't see
personally,
anybody
I
coming
think
or going, except that one officer that one time, but then he left. Um,
I saw the
so
officer and I saw one passing car and shit. Other than that, nothing else that day. I was
no,
amazed.
yeah, I mean it's like they just told everybody stay away, big joke on the JWO, and let's not tell them about it. It's like almost like you said, things are being scripted. It's like we're the fucking Truman Show here. Like, what the fuck is going on with our reality?
Yeah.
Right, right. I mean,
Who the fuck is pulling strings here? Why are they doing it? And,
yeah, me and VP.
and they're
The
teasing
second
us with
one
the
I got,
death day too. They're teasing it. They're talking about other shit. They're bringing up, for some reason they're allowing shit to be kind of released in a weird way. And there's even talks of, like I said, other events, not Death Day, perhaps something like minor.
yeah,
And
the weekly or monthly show they're trying to get off KPW Fight Club.
yeah,
like
you
the
know
name
more
of it.
about that because you've been working like trying to get info on that while I've been dealing with the old man. But what have you learned about that?
Fight Club. They're hoping that it's going to be a weekly or monthly type of deal, depending on what they can do, how they're conducting the meat wagon and collecting the freaking talent that they have and shit. But from what I'm gathering, whenever a fight club takes place, it's like one or two fights, maybe what do they call it in a professional term? A vignette.
So a Saturday morning wrestling show, like 2 fights and maybe a couple interviews.
Yeah.
with no Todd Penningham.
The thing is,
Yeah.
though, is I even mentioned to the guy, I'm like, well, in a way, if it's only like two little things and maybe something off to the side, it kind of sounds boring. He looked right at me and he's like, this is KPW. There's nothing boring about this. Trust
Yeah.
me.
No.
These
Yeah.
fights,
I tell
he
you,
looked at me and said, these fights, there's a reason why we call it Fight Club, because these fights are not your normal shit. And that's when I was introduced to the gravel pit match. I said, okay, now I know where this fucking Fight Club's trying to go. So these fights that they're going to have, it's going to be one or two fights, but they're going to be specialties involved. I mean, the gravel pit was unbelievable. I hit those fucking rocks with DDTs and fucking kicks and everything, punches, knee drops and shit. I gotta tell you, fucking 39 going on fucking 40 and shit. That fucking shit hurt. But
now, speaking of hurt and pain, let's go back a little bit because we kind of just was all it caught the moment of the fucking of me telling about the Jamaican guy. So Jamaican guy shows up now, right?
Yeah,
I don't even know his name because I haven't seen the video.
Wasn't it Warrior Sims? It was Warrior Sims or something.
Okay, I was supposed to.
Yeah.
Yep, Simmons. So
yeah,
they
Simmons.
wanted me to do the commentary, but then, like I said, the warehouse got busted to fucking scrap the evidence, and that's fine. So I'm trying to because they go Warrior Simmons, you got you and VP all in a match again. They want a Death Day 2 type of scenario. I'm not Death Day. I'm sorry, Rage in the Cage 2 kind of thing, like a.
In a way, I think they were going for a possible other show. But this actually felt like it was probably the first introductory thing of the Fight Club idea. They had another name, I think, for it, but I forget that name. I think it might have been Anarchy or there's some other bootleg shit and everything. I don't
yeah,
know.
something. I don't remember.
But yeah,
me neither.
We go inside there. Cap all that off, though. We go inside there. We see the third opponent and everything, and I'm still under my mask, and I'm just giggling my fucking ass off at this fucking guy coming in because I'm like, oh, this is fucking too much. And VP hears me underneath the mask going, he's got his lips closed and he's doing a little curve thing like, yeah, this is crazy. I can't believe this shit. So I'm like, you can't believe it. We gotta fight this motherfucker. So he looks at him, he looks at him, he looks at me, he steps back and he says, you want him? You can have him. I'm like, it's for a title, man. I don't want to steal no probability of the goal. He said, I fought you once. I don't need to fucking fight you again. Go get him, Prez. So I said, you know what? You really earned that fucking VP patch. I fucking love you. I hugged them and they fucking ref got in there. Fight! Boom! Fucking all over the place. Yo, it was a semi-short match. It had some length to it, but I call it semi-short because it really wasn't much of a fight. I don't know where they picked this dude, but I brought him all over the place. He brought me all over the place. I'm not going to call him a weakling or anything. The guy swung pretty hard. I don't know how old he was, but he had some calcium deposits or whatever in his fist, hurting bombs. So he's hitting me. I'm punching him back, kicking, a few moves here, a few moves there. DDT on the fucking hard, cold floor.
Dude, probably been in jail in China for 50 years.
I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that. I go over to one of the storage cages and shit, stick his head in between there, couple rams, boom, 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 boom. Rob's looking at me going, yeah, fucking kick his ass, motherfucker, kick, get him, go, Teej, go. I'm boom, boom, boom. Finally, he tries to freaking like roll me up, or I think it was a punch to the gut, and I think he tried to roll me up, but I rolled out of it real fast and shit. And when I did, I counteracted. I got right back up on my feet, bounced up. I looked at him. I said, okay, motherfucker, you want to do tricks? Here's a trick. Kick to the stomach, rat trap, motherfucker. And before I pinned him, took the freaking rat poison, spit him all over the fucking face of his fucking mask, made everything green. And I looked at Rob and I was like, it's all mine. 1. The ref comes down. 1, 2, 3. That's it. I forgot that it was a title match. I was so heated, I forgot it was a fucking title match. And VP couldn't believe this. It was the first time in many, many years that he ever fucking saw this of me. Hand on my fucking Book of Shadows, Mother Nature strike me dead if I'm lying. I forgot that it was a title match. The ref comes over and hands me this blue piece of gold right here. Like the fans know, I don't wrestle with my mask on. So I'm unmasked and shit, and he hands me this fucking beautiful fucking title. And I'm seeing this for the first time, really, in like an independent backyard type of thing and shit. And I'm like, I've held plenty of backyard titles, but this is as close to an indie promotion as I can get right now. And this is an indie fucking title. I'm looking at it and I'm so fucking grateful. There's so fucking many feelings coming through and shit. I'm remembering me and my grandfather, just old man Tucker, watching the old WWF Federation years on his fucking couch. And I'm thinking, man, I want that 10 pounds of gold or whatever the fucking shit, whatever it is, you know? Backyard titles are one thing. The second that this thing got in my hand, like I said, my memories just fluttered and everything clusterfuck. And then I just exploded. My head went down like this and shit on the fucking thing. And Rob comes over and taps me on my fucking back and shit and be like, you okay? I go like this and I look up at him like this and I'm sobbing like a fucking 16-year-old girl who just broke up with her boyfriend. And I mean, bawling my eyes out. I can't believe it and shit. All I'm thinking to myself for the first time in my life is being TJ Tucker and shit. First time in my life, I'm handed that title. I look up and I'm thinking to myself, here comes the real mushy part. I'm like, damn, I wish my mother was here to actually fucking see this. I wish my brother was here to see this. But got to do this alone and shit. And that hit me even worse. And I started crying even more on the belt. And when I find, that's why if you look at the post match picture with the zebra holding my hand up and I'm holding the title, I had to put my mask back on. There's a reason for that. I was drenched in fucking sweat and tears and shit. And it was just fucking amazing.
Well, I mean, the emotions are real. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, I mean,
when VP
you
saw
dream
me
of something.
sobbing, he freaking got me up and shit, and he hugged me with the fucking title and shit. He's like, I'm so fucking proud of you, bro. It's been years, and you fucking deserve it. To hear that come from an independent veteran in my ear right there, that was like
Definitely.
fucking blood in the world right there.
We were all kids, during the Federation era. And, during the Federation era, you had the Golden Eagle. And, they always sold the toy of the Golden Eagle at the shows, the house shows. And, you would have Hulk Hogan, Rock and the Eagle, Randy Savage, Ultimate Warrior, all these guys. And the Eagle was just beautiful. Bret Hart held it through the night. You know what I'm saying? You had all these great guys holding it. So you all dreamt of holding that gold. And, to hear it, you hit that milestone, you hit that freaking target. Bullseye slap, it's like the emotion just came out.
Oh, it exploded.
The nostalgia, of being a kid and the memory, it just came out.
Right? Exactly. I couldn't believe that. What? Oh, yeah. Hold on. Come on, baby. Come on. Yep. She said she couldn't believe that when that happened and shit, because she was there, tucked away in a corner, sitting in her fucking high chair and everything like she normally does. And besides VP, I could hear her voice just shouting, go, Dad, kick his ass, Dad. Oh, man, it was fucking nuts.
That's my girl.
She loved it.
With my niece.
Hell yeah. Yep. My little baby girl right there, right? Yeah. I know. I love you too, baby. But yeah,
that's also one of the stories. The reason I wanted to ask that, as we talk about that, is because of the way. Excuse me, but shit's good shit, but it's kind of dry. New strain I'm trying out. It's called Road Rage OG. Shit's like 29%, pretty strong, but a little bit dry, anyways. So sorry about that, but I'm fucking, just to hear how like VP kind of saw it was like your time to shine, stepped aside, kind of felt, the guilt over screwing you over the title before, which, I guess is now doesn't even exist anyways, but, that first opportunity in Death Day. And then, you guys had your beef out at Rage in the Cage, which was great. And you guys, you killed each other with glass and all sorts of weapons and
yes, Mia, it was an awesome ending to a chapter in our lives that had to be.
It was, and we talked about all that on the podcast, but this is kind of the missing piece of because then we see you in other promotions all of a sudden popping up, wherever you were at. I'm not even gonna name any promotion names, but every promotion, that was indie that we've seen JWO show up at and work with you,
Yeah.
Rob Tabby, Pickles. We've seen him in a bunch of promotions and running rampant. And and then I was brought in and we saw my inauguration and I got, jumped in by Picks basically. I'll call it a jump and I'll call it what it is. But I took the beat and I took the whoop and I showed that I could hang with the big boys that day. And you guys gave me, the keeper position and we saw that. And this story here about your title win is another piece where, Rob kind of, bowed before you, and it's kind of a way of showing, he's the next in line to be champ. He's the next to be, president. This is kind of the early formation again of the JWO as official as it is now with the structure. It's always been there, granted. I've always seen Tucker with that JWO jacket, but now there's some structure to this. There's a ranking system, there's patches, there's bylaws, there's freaking courts, jurisdictions, there's all sorts of shit. It's a whole community here.
What's so freaking great, technically and shit. I'm not rubbing my own dick and shit about being president and everything. It's kind of weird to me because we host chapel outside of Club Hatchet. I have to fucking go in my goddamn coat and make sure in my leather jacket that there's a fucking gavel where I keep my fucking cards. And yes, indeed. Hello, Picks.
We got Picks here now. I'm happy. Now the whole JWO's here. Yeah, I know. But hey, I tried.
Yep, that's Uncle Picks. That's Uncle Picks. Yep. Go ahead. Yep.
Everybody gets a little scared of Picks. I need another dab now.
It's a shame though that they can't actually see him and everything. He's silent, and I don't want to disturb that from him and shit. Hopefully, maybe someday JWO will hook you up with a nice fucking voice box, Picks. I'm looking into that. We need to hear you. You need. Well,
even one of those things you can chat to talk. Maybe I don't know. There's some AI voice. I don't fucking know. There's a bunch of shit we could maybe do, but I understand kind of what I've gotten used to as being the keeper, taking notes of when we have certain sessions and Picks is there. I've gotten used to kind of, understanding the kind of Connie sign language that he pulls and uses. And it's almost kind of like somewhat of hate to say the word, but gang language and in a way of stacking, because I understand stacking. I understand all that. So I'm kind of I can read his notes when he kind of moves his hands the way he does. And I kind of understand where he's going with the story, what he wants done and what he wants to see. He's kind of maniacal in the way he does it. It's all pre-planned, and that's the thing people don't know. He is vocal in a very Connie old style sense that other Connie workers would be able to pick up and be like, "Okay, Picks is calling the show now." And he does it all kind of like a baseball play, with their finger signals, what pitch you want to come down, and that's what he does, and it's fascinating to me. But if we could ever get him so the people can understand him, that would be insane.
Definitely.
Oh, absolutely.
And me personally, I love that fucking wooden bat that he brings to him and shit. Tell me that me and my general don't fucking think alike.
It's wild,
I can tell you from experience that damn bat hurts.
Yeah, I mean, you've had an interesting story, Chad, with the JW. Similar to myself, you started out when I saw you first starting to wrestle again. I saw you with the JW. You was with them. You was aligned with them. I was against you. But we talked, we chatted, we got on a little bit of a base, and you joined my side. And now both of us are on this side. How's that been? How's that been for you?
I mean, hey, it is what it is. Me and Picks have gone to war. Me and Tuck have gone to war, and we're stronger for it. We have a not only a mutual respect, but we've become, kind of like a family.
Yeah.
And families fight. Shit
Yep.
happens.
We
It's a
do.
little, it's a little
You
freaking true factor to JWO. Killer right there. Original Killer just said it right there, people and shit. So let me put it in black and white for you guys. We are family over here. You guys have got to know this. We're a family. And of course, like Chase just said, families do fight and shit. That's the way that it's got to be. The thing is, though, is I'm glad that this family finally is rounded up. It knows the enemy. It knows the fucking crosshairs that it's looking down. And I'm liking what I'm seeing so far and shit. And I love the way that this thing is coming together. I've been trying to get this off the tarmac for years, and now it finally is something. So yeah, it's proven to me that you put your nose to the grindstone and keep working, shit does happen for you.
And it really does. It really, really does. And I think a lot of us get, as much as we hate it, as much as we're threatened by it, as much as we're scared of it, as much as we, it, at points where it could be the end. There's a part of us deep down, because we are this twisted, because we are this crazy, that we like crazy pro wrestling, that we like the rush, we like the thrill, we like the danger aspect of it. It's like, yeah, there's wrestling, and then there's wrestling on top of a 60-foot cage. We went, this is the extra mile. We're all looking for a little something extra bump, and we've all found it here in KPW, one way or the other. And I'm not even really a wrestler. I don't wrestle. I'm a fighter. Yes, I'm used to box, and they love that about me. They want me to come into box, and I will box. And if you notice, me and you, when we had our match and that other promotion, I boxed you. I didn't even really wrestle you. I started, hitting you with lefts and rights.
Yep, you did.
And that's what it's about. And that's why they chose me to even be in KPW. People have asked me, you're not a wrestler. What are you doing in Crazy Pro Wrestling? What are you doing there? I'm like, they're not really looking for wrestlers, dude. They're looking for fighters. I heard there was a crazy judo guy that was in there. I heard there's been all sorts of people. You just said there was a Jamaican dude. There's probably other martial arts dudes in there. There's probably other UFC kind of style fighting. There's probably just straight up bum brawlers up in KPW. Just straight off the street, good fighters, but a straight up will fight, probably fighting for the bottle. Who knows what they get? What kind of depraved humanity they find? Where they get them from? Like I said, they're pulling people at the on death row. Of course, they can fight. They're in jail. They're fighting for their lives every day. They're fighting fighters. They don't care about wrestling. And that would be pretty much my answer, and that's the thing that I think differentiates this than like some backyard fed. That's another thing. They don't even care about the wrestling. They don't even want to look like TV wrestling. They don't want you to do suplexes or anything like that. They want you to just beat the piss out of each other until one of you don't fucking move.
Yeah, I mean, I've compared it to a couple of wrestling feds that I've seen out there to do barroom brawls all over the place and shit. Other than that, I'd have to say the closest thing to this, without being in a cage the whole time outside, this is similar to like Street Beefs on GoPro. That's a YouTube channel.
Yeah, it is. It kind of reminds me of also this Urban Wrestling Federation I used to watch, although they wrestled in a ring. The skits all took place on the streets, and it was kind of like, urban. So it was kind of like gangs. I even saw one episode, they were like firing shots at each other and shit. Like real gun. I think real guns, who knows? But I mean, it was like just all based about, whatever thing. And it was a lot of fun. What's that guy? Facade. Facade was on that for a while. He's a great wrestler. I love Facade. If you've ever seen him, I saw him a few times, a few places, but he comes out to the old school Ninja Turtle song there with Vanilla Ice. Go Ninja, go Ninja, go. And this dude can dance and move around, but he was in that old, wrestling show. You can find it on, I think, Pluto TV or one of those TV things that show the free stuff. But
the dancing wrestler always has a freaking gimmick and a real good one and shit. Kevin Strider, rest in peace, my boy and shit. The Scat Man, he came out with Scat Man and shit all the fucking time. And when he came out, he did this little juke jive jiggity, and he did it with all the fans and shit, and it fucking got the fuck over. you know, like I said, rest in peace, brother. But oh, Strider brought it home. Brought it home
You know that.
completely.
But that's what I was trying to tell, people too. We're not just all about just, just our shows and what we're doing and wrestling or like that. Some of these wrestling promotions, whatever, they are just about the wrestling. The JWO, it's a little bit more than just that. We're more of, like I said, well, you said it, a family A. And this is also, this is it's also a job. This daily tasks that are called upon each of us as part of this brotherhood that we have to do, whether it's me note taking or fucking jotting down the shit for the day of what has happened. So, to put into the manuals and whatever decisions that, you have to make with the gavel president. The VP's got his work. Killer definitely has his hands cut out for him. The prospects are all doing their jobs to make sure, they try to earn their way in. And then they'll soon enough, face the general who's always ready for war. And that's what they don't get about Pix. He might be a clown, he might be scary, but he's always ready for war. At the snap of a finger.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter. All we have to do is just say the word or give him the look. And guess what? Pix is going to war. And if he goes to war, we all go to war. And when we all go to war, well, it's war.
That shit happened.
What was that movie? The horror movie? Was it?
That's right, baby.
The day I think they decided to go to war. I can't remember what the movie was. If it was, I think it was one of the Wrong Turns, and like they were all in the hospital, and all of a sudden they just decided to like turn on everybody. Kind of similar to that shit with the House on Haunted Hill. They were like all the patients went uproaring crazy, and like they just snapped their fingers and they were like, "It's wartime." And that's kind of how Pix is. You don't care, and war's war to Pix. Pix has no rules. There's no rules of engagement for Pix. There's no rules of engagement for JWO. We're gonna fight. We're all fighters.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what people don't get about war. But outside of that, yeah, we are busy with JWO activities. There's a lot of things that we do. Someone's asking me about it, and that's why I bring it up. They were like, "You guys got all these titles, but do you actually, what's that all about?" And I if I could, I kind of would have given that like, that's I call the shoulder slap. Shut the fuck up, dude. Like, we all have titles. Yeah, we have jobs. That's why we earn these fucking patches. President didn't just declare himself president. People don't understand that. We had a vote. We had a regular vote, and everybody actually voted for TJ. I mean, that's just how it was. Everybody saw his potential. Like you saw in that KPW match for the title, the VP saw TJ was the one to win this. He could have won it if he wanted to, maybe. I don't know. But he would have fought trying, but you gave up to it. You were like, you know what? It's your time to kind of shine. Take him out.
Yep.
And, I had a similar thing. I was like, well, I don't see anybody else, more fit for the job as president.
And how you told everybody too? I was patched in basically the vote. Yeah, well, it was definitely clear, and I recalled everybody into Club Hatchet to go to the table that fucking night and shit. Prospects all included and everything and shit. Paul Michael was there. Nix, our lieutenant, was there. You were there. VP. Everybody was there, including Pix. And after that vote happened and shit. Before that vote happened, we had an AWL match, as a matter of fact. It's out there, the MacGuffin 2, I think the event was. But Paul Michael, AWL faced off me and the convicted felon, Paul Michael, one of our prospects. And they put in, I requested and demanded that our VP over there was the ref for the match. So we're in that fucking match and shit. And Paul didn't really know what to do because he knows my authority and I know him and I know he doesn't like authority, but still he understands that this is the way that this family is. So he knows what's possibly going to happen. And I looked at him and I said, no, this is where you don't know, prospect. I dropped to my knees and I said, I'm going to do you a big favor just to prove to myself. This is in front of a prospect now. I did this in front of my VP, and any of the prospects and JWO members that caught this match or saw it and whatever, they understood. The president got on his knees in front of a prospect and said, take me out. Give me your best fucking shit. And I knelt down and I took every bit of that convicted felon's prison warfare to my face, my body, my legs, my arms. He freaking punched me so good in the chest and stomach and shit. I was bleeding again, busted open. VP looks at me and says, yo, you know you're bleeding, right? I said, I don't give a fuck. That's perfect. Boom, right back inside there and shit. And I looked at him. I'm busted open. I'm bleeding, and I can see like his eyes, like holy shit, you know. I looked at him, and I'm like, okay, prospect, you had your fun. Fun's over. Kick to the midsection, rat trap right there. 1, 2, 3. Got out of there. I hugged him, and I said, let's go in the back and have a Fago. Good work, prospect. Good work. You're gonna earn that fucking hatchet. You're gonna earn the fucking patch. Good for you.
Fucking A. I love it. I love it. I love hearing the stories because a lot of it hasn't been told. Some of it I wasn't there for. And, you know, I just told a lot of lies about JWO.
Oh,
Obviously
Jesus.
obviously working for, you know, a rival faction. I was told a lot of propaganda and bullshit. So hearing truths come out and hearing different stories that I don't even know as a keeper, because I don't know everything. It's very interesting to me. I do find it, you know, very entertaining and kind of, you know, it's again puzzling pieces that, you know, in my head I was trying to fall time of, you know, how did A get to B get to C, because a lot had happened that again I was lied about. Or didn't know about, it wasn't even told about, wasn't made aware of. You know, with a lot of, you know, some of these, you know, factions, they kind of censor what you see or know to, you know, manipulate the information that you're being told. So, you know, you're more allegiance to them. But, you know, I broke out, woke up from it per se, stopped drinking the Kool-Aid, and, you know, the JWO is the real deal family. Again, we can't keep pushing that more, that the dynamic is there. You know, every day the brothers talk to each other. Every day the brothers, you know, ask each other how they're doing, what's up. Anybody need
absolutely
anything?
we do.
How
We
you
work
feeling?
hard.
How are
We
you
work
feeling? How
hard.
are you doing today? What's going on with you? How are you doing? You know, when somebody has an issue, it becomes everybody's issue.
Yeah.
Yep. We work
You know,
hard. We play hard, and we fight even fucking harder.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All about family and love, man. We love completely fucking hard over here and shit. Everyone always thinks that, yeah, it's all about the warfare and shit. Yeah, it's a good part of it and everything, but you people have got to stop seeing all that blood and understand that there's love underneath all that shit. And that's another thing that Tabitha always tries to promote and shit. Because, like I said, people always are like, you know, oh my God, she's scary or that's scary. And she looks up at me with these little tiny eyes and she says, Daddy, all I want to do is love these people. And they're unbelievable. They think it's so fucking scary. I'm like, yeah, I know, but that's the world, baby. It's just the world. And you live in the JWO. You're a little princess. I'm the president and shit. You got Uncle Rob for VP. You got our keeper, Uncle Versace. Got our killer over here, Uncle Kevin and shit. And she's just happy to be a part of this and everything. I mean, you really can't tell and everything, but let me tell you something about my little girl. She smiles every fucking day. Every time I wake up, she looks at me with these little eyes. Good morning, Daddy. I love that fucking shit. You know, it melts my fucking heart. And yeah, I just said melt my fucking heart. That's right. A tough ass like me just said melt. Okay, but it's true. As far as KPW and their founding fathers go, let's get back to that notion. Remember, you did something that I just cannot forgive. And it's not KPW and the call letters and everything. I fucking love this Fed. I fucking love this Fed with all my fucking heart. But as far as the KPW founding fathers go, you just had to push that fucking button. You sent my motherfucking daughter a KPW letter. That ain't right. And I will
You know,
find
I'm
out.
gonna read
I
that one
will
too.
find out who printed that motherfucking thing. And come Death Day 2, I hope you're the motherfucking cameraman, or I hope you're fucking around. Because if you are, fuck pickles. I'm taking
Oh,
the fuck out.
oh shit.
Okay, now I got that
Okay.
letter right here. It goes like this. Tabitha dear, we have known you for a very, very long time. We too were friends with the Countess. We followed your amazing trip across the world, right into that lonely boy's hands, who shouldn't have been playing with dolls, and still shouldn't.
Ah,
We want your powers.
oh.
We will get your powers soon, real soon. Death Day 2. Like, it's weird because, you know, everybody's letter, I pick up on a lot of shit. Everybody's letter was written on, like, you know, a regular kind of piece of paper, old paper. This is honestly in an old Russian manuscript. Like, I don't know what it
Jesus.
says. It's weird. It's very old. But there's some words there that says Dada.
Russian.
I don't even
Holy
know if she
shit.
read it.
Yo, that paper's Russian? That means they were right next to Hungary and shit. That's where she's from.
Let me see if it'll pick up. I don't know if it'll pick up on this because of the way it is, but
Nah,
They
a
not
little bit.
fucking lying about being friends with the Countess and shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see
Yeah.
I can see a
Went
little
right
bit
there.
behind that shit, a little bit of the print, that NDF shit and everything, how they pronounce their words or whatever, and right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, it's on the Cape, you know, the Crazy Pro Wrestling page. You can find it on there and you can see the details. But you know, very weird stuff. But again, being called out again, you know, somebody family, somebody personal, somebody close, and being dragged into the same thing known her. And you know, I've heard the stories of, you know, Tabby. I've read kind of the tales. I've been told it, and you know, very long, very, very long time. How old are these motherfucking people? I mean, come on now. Now we're talking a little bit older than Old Man Tucker here.
Yeah, it makes me wonder and think. Personally, yeah, just like I've noticed with the founding fathers that are in the office right now, they've come from lineage. So KPW technically has been behind the scenes this entire fucking time for years. And personally, I think it was just they were gathering up the right information for the right moment. And 2021 was the year they decided to fucking send out their first drafts. And what a cast of crew to fucking get in your fucking fed to kick open your door. And I knew it was something even more special because I'm, like I said before, I said this in an interview, I think. I was sleeping in my tent and I'm hearing Tabby's voice just over and over again. I haven't heard this voice since I was 6 years old. And I recognized it immediately. I'm like, Tabby, that's fucking Tabby. So I'm talking to her more in the dream, and she's like, yes, please, come and find me, Daddy. Come and find me. Where are you? In the Flint. Like, I live right there in the Flint. Come and find me. Just follow my voice. I'm like, shit. I wake up and I'm like, is that a nightmare or a fucking dream and shit? Few hours go by, I cook my breakfast outside after lighting a fucking fire, and motherfucker, I start hearing her voice again. And she said, you coming? I'm like, Tab? Yeah, are you coming? I'm like, okay, all right, you know what? I grabbed some shit and everything. I'm like, all right, threw it in the tent, fucking had my breakfast, and I started posting and shit. Before that day, I posted something out and I'm like, I'm hearing her voice and she's telling me to come get her. She's telling me to dig. And it's true. I got up and I followed her voice after putting out that fire. I followed her voice all the way into like deep sections and shit. Some dark ass motherfucking shit. I don't know how my father found this place, but it was in there. And the voice was getting stronger, stronger. Then I started smelling rose. There's no fucking roses. Nothing. Just dead ass motherfucking fall ground and shit. Trees all around. I'm hearing a few cars pass by. So I'm like, I know I'm still in civilization, but god damn, this place fucking it's wild. So I'm hearing her voice even more and I'm smelling roses. And finally she's like, right there. Dig, dig. I look down and I'm like, there? Yes. This is all in my head. You can't really hear her and shit. I was videotaping this. I'm like, all right. Shit, 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 shit. You couple, I don't know how this black survived and shit, but she was in there and I was amazed at this. I thought dad really didn't give a fuck about her and shit, but she was placed in a fucking bag. This is why she didn't age. If dad
Yeah, I
would have
mean,
put her in that box, she
to
would
be
have been
honest, she
like
looks
Raggedy
good.
Ann by now.
But it's amazing. Just like I said, I mean, when I first saw Tabitha and the other promotion, I was kind of stunned, and her magic does impress. And what KPW would want to do with it, what the founding fathers would want to harness it for, I could only imagine. And that kind of startles me a little bit because they're very evil, and they don't need any more power.
Oh yeah. Let me tell
But that was
something.
I was gonna tell a story, but that Rage in the Cage rather, that day that we were all assigned to kind of fight each other. If you notice something kind of funny about that day, it is very funny about that day because they brought in entertainment and they brought in bands, and then they brought in the entertainment for themselves. Like you guys were the main event and you guys were to entertain them. They put you in one of the most bloodiest, dangerous matches, the painted red match where, you basically got to paint, your opponent with the blood's got to bleed, man. And there was glass, there was weapons, it was an MMA style cage, it was wild, crazy, no rules, anything goes. But then, that was just for you guys to kill each other. There was no other purpose,
That's what they
But
wanted.
then,
That's what they wanted.
Yeah, that's what they wanted.
They
but
wanted me down, and they wanted Rob to do it.
but then other guys were brought in, paid talent, paid. And I know this because I saw them being paid by somebody there, right in the beginning when I got there. And then they were gone. And that was the other thing I'm going to talk about after because you guys were in the backstage. I only saw you after, but I never really mentioned it. But so the rest of the talent was paid, and they brought in some pretty good names. They brought in the Sheik. Sheik's a great wrestler, really, really good. Been in the industry a long time, really knows the industry. Really knows the business. Really, came out. He came with Tiny the Terrible, another industry legend. People love that guy. I love that guy.
He's Tiny's awesome.
Yeah.
We had Angel. Dino,
Yeah.
another, New England stable name. He's been around a while. He's a very great, good wrestler. I run into him. I talked to him before. Outside of wrestling and other places. When we were at actually not outside of outside the ring. I mean, I ran into him at an AEW show, but really nice guy, really cool guy. Our killer had to go. That's okay. No problem. What I was going to say is, he was brought in. And then, at the time, somebody was brought in just to fuck with me. We became good friends after that, but, he was brought in and paid just to come in and slap me around and then to fight in that match. And that's the loose cannon Ray Rancid. I brought him back many times. He's actually owed a title shot. There was, an episode done on Killing the Business Worldwide where he was trying to challenge for that title. But the only problem was the founding fathers denied the request. It wasn't you. You accepted it. And you said yes to the fight. And, you came out that night to help me when, Rancid attacked me. And, we talked about that. And, that's why, again, you were all ready to defend your title. He was owed another beating, but Now, the founding fathers denied it. They wanted to make it wait. They wanted to kind of hide it. I don't know if it was because of the warehouse or if they were just scared or what the problem was. But, now they're kind of allowing it. At some point, you're probably going to have to fight him again.
That's no problem.
Again, you'll be ready for Ray. But again, okay, so they were all brought in, paid. Great matchup. Then, two great female talents, Big Juicy, Corinne Mink. Both of them were, brought in, paid top dollar wrestling for it. And that was again to entertain, the fans, to entertain, the people that came out to watch it. But then two guys get, like I said, have to fight in one of the most bloodiest, deadliest matches. Unpaid, completely unpaid.
Yeah.
Why? And and people wondering why. And I saw this and I watched it because that was the other part of this. I was asked to come, asked to be at the show. I didn't know anything more than just show up. I was handed a fucking CD. I thought it had maybe instructions, like audio instructions, like something like kind of weird, like maybe like that 13 Reasons Why show or something fucking weird, like there was like some audio weird shit going on, right? No, it wasn't. It was some kind of theme music, scrap fucking, I don't know. That's why the music was fucked up. But I was just told to watch things. And that's what I did. I watched and announced the beginning. I was told to say what I had to say. They gave me a script. I read it. I did a pretty damn good job. I was told to shit on talent. I did that. There was some talent, I guess, that didn't show up. I shit on them. That was part of my job. I was paid to do so. I did that very well. I wasn't told that I was going to get my ass kicked by Ray. And again, after that, I kind of reached out. He said, hey, it was a job. A job's a fucking job. And I'm like,
yeah.
Okay, and then we became friends, and why he might not be part of the JWO, why you might have to fight him again. He has become a friend of mine. I have talked to him. I have brought him on my podcast a few times to have him chat. He's a good wrestler. I like him as a wrestler. I think he's a good dude. And I can see why money does speak, and it speaks loudly. In KPW, they paid people to come in. So that's what I'm saying. I was brought in to do this, job. And I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was told to play music when I had to play, and half the songs weren't even working.
Oh God!
So before I was just told to be there, and it was cool and all, but again, the main point of it was for them to entertain themselves with you two fucking killing each other. They didn't really care about anything else. The founding fathers cared about nothing else except you two just fighting to the near death, and that was it. They didn't care about nothing else. They didn't care if the show was good, bad. They brought in some talent. They paid the talent to come in and wrestle and do whatever they had to do, and then they had you two fight.
Yep, absolutely.
And that's how they get away with this shit. Under the guise of a pro wrestling show, they'll bring in talent, and if they ask the talent, I worked for this company KPW. Hey, I met this guy. He paid me. Yep, it was a great wrestling show. Oh, you wrestled? Yeah. But then there's always one or two people or three or four people on that show. They're not wrestling. No. They're fighting for their fucking lives.
Yeah.
Okay, they're fighting with weapons. They're having their fight. They're fighting to the death or near death, like I said, and it's real as fucking real can fucking be. It's a fucking nightmare, and they're not supposed to talk about it. They're not supposed to fucking bring it up. They're just supposed to fucking do it. And I shouldn't probably be breaking protocol now by talking about, but I'm kind of fucking sick of it all because we do fucking have to do it almost every damn show. We're not getting paid to fucking do it. I saw you guys that night. I decided out of my own grace, goodness, here's some cash. You guys just almost killed each other. And that's kind of when I decided, hey, you guys are kind of, not too bad. But, after that, like I said, another faction kind of was like, I like your voice. Hey, you want to work with me? And I was like, I can help you. Let's see what can go on. And, a friendship happened. And, I formed into, a bunch of bullshit that, again, we were at war, and I had to fight you. I had to fight, the the VP, and the last piece of the puzzle happened in my house when I had to fight Pickles. But again,
Yeah,
I
that was the
just
last
seeing
piece of
that
the
footage, it
puzzle.
still mesmerizes me. How Pickles was, just fucking just so strong. Like, I have
Yeah.
pretty good jabs. You can ask TJ. You can watch our match with him. He took blows. He kind of, was a little wild. Fucking this dude didn't even move. And then just beat the piss out of me. I hate to be like that, but it's the fucking truth. He just fucking gave me a beating. And basically, watching again, and you got TJ just, telling my kid and my dad just to fucking chill out, don't get crazy, and nothing bad will happen. And thank God my kid's kind of a hothead. Thank God he just kind of chilled. But it is, it is as wild as it can be, man.
With
Um,
love, Uncle Versace.
hello, yeah, but
She said if you didn't hear it, it was done with love, Uncle Versace.
yeah, I know,
Yeah,
I
it
know,
was.
I know. I have no hard feelings about it. It happened because it needed to, But that's the thing. Who's gonna be on the next card? Will there be other paid people? Are we just the ones again fighting for our lives? Now this time they want me to fight more. They drag me. My instructions have been different. My instructions are similar to you guys. So I don't know what I'm up against. They see me with the JWO, so now they see me as a threat. Before they see me as just a podcaster, a voice, a puppet. Now they see me as a threat because I'm with you guys, and that's fine. I've made my allegiance, but how they handle me, I don't know. I have no fucking clue what they're gonna have me do. Am I gonna have to fight one of you guys? Am I gonna have to fight some fucking death row criminal? Who the fuck knows? I mean, the possibilities are endless. Will they bring in other people? Like I said, are they gonna, or they just, now that are they done with the facade of it being, some kind of wrestling federation, and now that it's gonna be, like you said, they want to run Fight Club. That doesn't sound like it's no freaking, Saturday morning, wrestling show. It sounds like it's, fucking something dangerous. And and then you got, there are other shows, or they just done maybe with the facade, like I said, the pro wrestling. They're just gonna just deal with the fighting, and that's it. And they just want to just see their enjoyment now. They could care less about fans. They could care less about fucking anything. You gotta wonder what has changed in their minds, because now they've opened up shop again. It's kind of like that freaking, one day, everything's dark, and then fucking the next day Willy Wonka's opened his shop. It's like that, dude. It is.
Yeah.
It's one day all of a sudden now they've opened up doors. They want matches. They're booking. They're calling. They're sending letters. There's activity once again. There's movement. The old man's moving. I've been watching him. He's moving again. Where's he been for the last years? I have fucking no clue. That's what I'm trying to figure out. His home spot. Where are they coming from? Is he coming from overseas? Is he coming here? Is he local guy? I have no idea.
Guaranteed, I think that motherfucker lives at the facility that they're at. I don't know where, but I think he lives somewhere in that fucking facility.
But he can get here with ease. He can move. He can get past any security. He can do almost anything, and he can find you wherever the fuck you are. And that's the scary part. I can even be found without a phone by this guy, and that's scary to me.
No shit.
Yo, this dude found me, and at this point in my life, nobody knew where Hall 6 Carnival Campgrounds was. It wasn't even mentioned and shit. This guy fucking found me. Nobody finds me anywhere. But this guy comes out of nowhere and knocks on my fucking tent. I come out and there's this motherfucking old motherfucker staring me down. And I'm like, the fuck? This is before, like, the JWO was trying to get off the tarmac and shit. I couldn't put that president patch on my shit and everything. But I was still walking around with the patch on me and everything. I'm trying to get it off the ground and shit. And no one knew me. I mean, there was a bunch of people that didn't even know the River Rat Juggalo was back in the fucking scene. And then all of a sudden, KPW comes around, and I'm connected more with you, Keeper. I'm connected more with our VP over here. And I started noticing that more people were starting to come up to me and ask me how things were doing. A few of them came up and was like, how's you and how's your daughter, Tabitha? They're not calling her that word. They're notifying that, you know, she is what she is. And
Yep, yep.
I got little kids and grown-ups walking over to Tabitha and can I shake her hand? Yeah, go ahead. She loves her fan. She fucking loves it. But when it came to this guy visiting me, I'm like, motherfucker, these motherfuckers are strange. I mean, I've seen messengers from different, you know, feds come up and ask me to perform for their shows or whatever, but this was unique. So I'm like, you know
Yeah,
what?
they're using
I
a
don't know
different breed of
anything about
fucking
this.
messenger, man.
I'm like, I don't know anything
Yeah.
about this fed, but I'm kind of liking the vibe that this guy has. Creepy, but I'm kind of liking the fucking vibe. So I'm like, you know what? I think I'll answer this fucking note. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Go for it, motherfucker. So yeah, I hopped on that KPW meat wagon. Didn't know where the fuck it was taking me. They told me follow the ping on your phone. Follow it, takes me into the woods. Next thing I know, like I said before, I see the clearing and I hear the purge sirens, and I'm like, why is my song playing? I'm like, all
Oh,
right,
geez.
keep following the ping, following the ping, come through the clearing, and then down comes Tough Daddy. And a lot of people don't know this, but the conversation that was going on, Versace was commentating, so you couldn't really hear the conversation that was going on. But in that conversation, I'm like, the fuck are you doing here? Like, I don't know. What the hell are you doing here? I really don't know and shit. So we're trying to figure it out. We're talking amongst ourselves. And did you know this? No. Did you know this? You sure? Yeah. What's going on? Next thing I know, out of the fucking woods behind the cameraman steps out this fucking zebra. And I look at him and it's Rob. I'm like, what the? I'm like, what the fuck is this? And she's like, look, nobody told me anything. They just gave me this and they said, ref.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, all right, brother, whatever. He's like, remind you, this is for a title. I'm like, what? What do you mean it's for a title? No one tells. Once again, no one tells me shit. So
You're
I
always the
walk
last
in.
to know, Ro.
Yep,
You're always the last to
exactly.
Yeah.
know, TJ.
Next thing
Yeah.
I
Boy.
know, the match goes on and shit because I was like, well, if they want it, then they fucking got it then. If this is who I'm facing. And before I punched Tough Daddy, the first punch and everything, all I was thinking of is his little fucking promo that he put and shit. Oh, if I have to kick my friend's ass, I'll kick my friend's ass. I watched that and I remembered that post inside my head. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, you want to prove yourself? Here's a motherfucking real juggalo right now, so you can really prove yourself just how fucking tough you are. And boom, we battled crazily around that fucking cemetery.
And that's the
And
crazy thing. That's the crazy thing. If Rob never gotten involved with that shit, you would have had that title too around your belt. You had the match in your fucking
Yeah,
hands.
Rob was being coerced about other
that's
things.
okay. You had that bug in your ear, and that's it's it. They tried. They
They
But then,
tried.
you
tried
know, it's
and
good
they
to see the
failed.
it's
Yeah.
good to see the general making you come to light. I mean, you were one of the first to do it. The general had some, power in that because TJ called the general. I was like, look, Rob screwed me out the title. When Pix attacked you, I don't have the footage of it. I was
Oh,
shown it by
geez.
a third party, but it showed the night that Pickles attacked you. And it showed the night that TJ kind of got his little bit of revenge for that and how everything transpired and what happened after. And then we see, you guys deal it out at Death Day. But, you've made amends with it all. And then, like I said, he's the first one to kind of come to like join you by your side. And then after him, the rest of us kind of fell in line as you've
Yeah.
given titles, patches out, kind of orders and tests to see, who's doing what, who's good at what.
Well, you
It's
see,
not even about who can do,
Rob.
it's who's good at what.
Well, you see, Rob was the first one that after that whole shit happened at Rage in the Cage and shit, I was immediately like, okay, before they get back in his ear, because I know that they saw me and him hugging out in the middle of the ring before I rat trapped them and got Tabitha to kiss him, and then all that happened. So the minute after I did my little pose of victory and shit and walked back there, my first reaction was, where is he? And I walk in the locker room and shit, and he's just like sitting down for the night, breathing heavy, just blood out of him and shit. I'm looking at him, and I said, it ain't over yet. He goes, what? Boom! Elbow to the fucking head. Fell down. It's okay, brother. And I told my general, pick him up, Picks. Picks his ass up, goes into the fucking clown car and shit. We head
Similar to me. Similar to me.
He was the first one. He was the very first one to be put in that clown car and taken to Hall 6 Carnival Campgrounds. Nobody before Rob ever got dragged there by me. I knew this was a special moment and shit. And inside my head, I was thinking to myself, it's the perfect time to introduce him to what I want to do. Not just for me, but for him and everybody else who's sick and tired of the way that misfits like us are treated in the motherfucking wrestling world. So I brought him into Hall 6 Carnival Campgrounds to a nice special spot. Fucking place stunk like hell, but it's home.
Oh,
But I put him on that fucking slab, and I gave him a mixture of Watuppa rat poison and a little bit of mixture of what Tabitha told me and shit. And that right there just got him to see the light a little bit more. And then I started really talking in his ear and saying, yo, it was wrong. And I know you're apologetic. I love you, brother. I will never fucking forget that and shit. We've been through a lot, but this is for real now. This is what I want to do. And I laid out the entire plan. And I looked at him and I said, I can't do this alone though, bro. So this is what I'm going to think of. And I reached down and pulled out the VP patch, V President, pushed it over to him, and I said, congratulations. He's like, are you sure? I said, did you read that? Did you remember that video? I can play it back for you on YouTube right now. But I did look at you and say, welcome to the JWO. We pounded and we went out the freaking door. I looked at the camera and I'm like, cut it. Cut that shit and everything. He's been VP ever fucking since. And, we've been through a shitload of all the feds that we've been in, but we're getting around. The notions coming out, the feelings coming out, and everybody is starting to understand the agenda. We are just like ICP and Twisted have said in the past, we're the misfits of the misunderstood. And we're the misfits of the misunderstood of independent and backyard wrestling. So this time is our time. JWO New England chapter. Couldn't be fucking happier.
Me neither.
I love it. I love it.
Hell yeah.
You know,
yeah.
So many stories. These dabs are great. I went out to one of my favorite place, Garden Remedy, which I always like to go out there on, once a week at least. I try to hit all the dispensaries to see their different products, and it turned me on to this shit. I don't even know. I think it's called Sour Kush. It was bad.
Yeah, I got
dabs. I love the dabs, but
I got this.
I think I'm still working on my strain, Black Ice.
Very nice. Love it.
And I got lemon haze. I got lemon haze moon rocks, bro. Holy crap!
That's great.
You better save one of them moon rocks for me. I've yet to try a
better
moon
save
rock
one of those for the next KPW show, because that will be some fun. But yeah, that's great. Moon rocks can be fun. This is what I want to do though. This is what I like. All these stories that's coming to light, and it's great to hear, because like I said, a lot of fans have asked me, how did A get to B? How did B get to C? I'm like, listen, I can't tell you each and every one of you all the time. We'll do a show. We'll tell all the stories. We'll get them all out there. We'll find as much footage as we can. Maybe some of it can be reenacted. AI's kind of smart that he did. I don't fucking know. We'll figure ways out, but there is stuff that isn't damaged or is partially damaged that we can kind of scrape. And I think, with my technical skills and your technical skills, and all of our kind of skills, we can maybe kind of piece some of the footage together and even get some of the matches out there, so the fans can see that there was a lot of activity kind of going on. And then, it was kind of slow, dead, and then bam, again. But there was definitely, even after your title match, there was still more matches. There was still defenses. You've been an active champion.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of people understand that. I think they just kind of see you as a paper champion. Oh, you won something, and something that doesn't even exist anymore. It's like, well, KPW never went anywhere. They just went underground.
Oh
they
yeah, I
had the
got plenty of
warehouse,
brothers.
kind
I
of
got plenty of
invaded.
brothers
They
that
so they
carpool with me and shit, and they're all like, "Yo, KPW is dead. What are you doing, dragging around that fucking title and everything?" I'm like, "Dude, don't be fucking making fun of my goddamn title and shit. Yeah, it may look a little cheap and shit, but let me tell you, KPW may look cheap and seem backyard indie, but motherfucker, you best respect that shit. These
I mean,
motherfuckers, the founding fathers are their own entity in KPW, but as far as the fighters go in KPW, it's not just with JWO being family. These are all brothers and sisters. You have to dig down outside of gimmicks and behind the curtain a little bit. It's a bunch of people that are getting together. They want to give you not just entertainment, but this violent entertainment that everyone has been searching for ever since shit like ECW got fucking canceled. Fucking
yeah, yeah,
CZW got fucking canceled and
yeah.
brought back and shit. XPW was put on hiatus before Black decided to come to bring it back and shit.
But even that's not the same as it ever was. And, nothing that will come back will ever be. But this is still as gritty, as grimy as ever. And the thing is about KPW is, I will tell you the truth. I was contacted not too long after the warehouse was invaded. And, there was a fire and everything was destroyed. I got another letter kind of similar. Not like a wrestling letter. It didn't seem to me. They basically come like this. If anybody comes asking for your own good, we're closed for business. And that's it. So when anybody asks me anything, I just say they're closed because I don't even want to even see, I do know what's good for my own good. So, people had asked me, is KPW still run? I kind of want to go to that show. I want to see it. I'm like, it's closed. It's closed. It's closed, and that's the thing. I'm not going to put my family, my kid, any of my people at risk over, that. When they open the doors, now they just say, if anybody asks, we're open for business.
I noticed on the original page that first went out and shit, they put it up as permanently closed. So the new one with the new call letters, that's the one to go to and shit. Those
It is,
red call
and that's
letters.
kind of making its rounds slowly. I know the last one took off, but the last one, like I said, it had the event behind it. It had, a lot of fans behind it because it did have Rage in the Cage behind it. The new one doesn't really have any events yet. Once the events start happening, I'm sure the followers will start to follow. People start to take notice. But KPW is starting to take record of things again. Like I said, that's where I pulled the two letters, one for the killer, one for Tabitha out of. They're starting to go through that kind of again and give cryptic little notes and letters and silly, silly to us, but some of it's quite serious, kind of, digs. And this is the thing. Seeing them come back, like I said, they've asked me, if people ask, I'm like, well, they're back in business. Why? Because, well, they've let me know. You can tell people we're open. And I'm like, okay, well, I will. I mean, I'll say you guys are open. Like I said, I'm not going to, again, go against founding fathers. They wanted me in this. And this time, like I said, it's a different kind of feeling because last time I was brought in as kind of a radio personality. They wanted me to do the commentary. They wanted me to kind of, I said, run the show or whatever.
Well, they're
Run it.
They're not as stupid as they fucking seem and shit. They're fucking smart and they fucking know it, but they're fucking smart enough to play the dumb game with us. Motherfucker, I can see you. I know what you're doing.
And that's the thing, that's the thing. Now they have me with you guys, so they treat me as a regular pit fighter. I've, been called now to really, I'm treated as one of you. I don't get the inside kind of scoop. Last time I was kind of, got a little bit of, of kind of what's to come, what you're going to see. So I can promote, and push it. I don't get that inside intel. I don't know anything. I'm in as dark as much as you guys are. Last time, like I had a little information, not so much about Death Day, but I knew about I knew about you guys fighting, how bad it would get, and I was, told about the Painted Red match a lot earlier than you guys had found out about it. And that was the only match that I actually knew about on the card. They didn't tell me much, but they did tell me there would be a Painted Red, and they went through the rules, and they actually asked me about it if it would be, is that something people would see? And I was like, I guess if it was bloody and people are looking for hardcore, deathcore wrestling, sure, why not? I'm a big fan of, GCW, and fucking
Oh
Nick Gage. And I love seeing, the freaking glass and the glass ball. So, hearing that they were bringing in glass for you too, I was excited for that. I won't lie. I knew about that. I knew there'd be glass. I knew they were gonna have you
yeah.
guys.
The second that I saw Rob come out with that towel, I said, "All right, what's underneath the fucking towel?" Then I see him walk across the cage, and I see that fucking tube. And my mind went right back to CCW days in my fucking backyard. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh shit, that motherfucker brought glass to the party. All right.
Yes, I did.
All right.
Yes,
Let's
I did.
fucking go. Let's fucking go. This is going to be fucking fun. Should I
Yes,
tell
it was. Yes,
Yo,
it was.
if there was anybody that I proved myself first to in the JWO, it was my VP right there. Because I was like a fucking Timex watch in that fucking thing. I took the licking and I kept on fucking kicking.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I'm gonna say this, guys. We're just about out of time. I got, about a minute. It's almost midnight. It's kind of late.
Yeah, because I gotta
I
go
did
to
want
work
to say
tomorrow.
this,
So
and I don't know what the hint is, if this is gonna be part of it or not. But I keep getting a lot of references and sent to me, and a lot of video clips of your last fight, in that other promotion, Rob, the dog collar match. I don't know if they're going to be
jeez.
I don't know if they're going to be introducing a dog collar within KPW,
Ooh,
but they've been
I would
hinting
like
at
to
it.
use the dog collar again. I would like
That
to
was a
use the
pretty
dog
brutal
collar
match,
again.
and I can only
Thank
imagine under
you. Thank you.
KPW
Thank you.
rules what could happen. I'm going to leave that with everybody tonight. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We will be back next week with more of this show. And as always, whoop, fucking whoop.
Whoop,
Bitch.
whoop.
You got yourself a big point there. I mean, I was first off the hand to warn you about that motherfucker.
You did.
But it's okay. People just they don't listen to me at times. Maybe it's something that I say or do, whatever.
I mean, listen, I'll be honest. I mean, we've been boys. We've been through a lot together. You remember the shit out in the dunes.
Shit, Stoddard.
You remember the shit out in the dunes and when we were out in the sand pits and all that crap and all the shit that we had to endure and getting past that and the cage and all of that. Okay, we've been through all of that. And like I said, it was just, he came in, smooth talked to me. Okay, and for that 1 second, I was a little vulnerable. And everything sounded like rainbows. But you know what? I'll be honest, it wasn't. It was the sewers. It was the shits. It was fucking garbage. And, here I am now, having to be somewhat humble, asking for forgiveness. I fucking hate that crap, okay? I'm the fucking damn Versace Stone, and, my house, and I have to be humble and ask you guys, to get back in your good graces. But that's where I'm at. That's the point I'm at right now in all of this, because there is nowhere else to go. There is nothing else to do here. I mean, like I said, I've been to that other side. I've seen the shit.
Well, you were in a low-ranking position in that other Fed and with that other motherfucker and shit. He who must not be named. I'm not going to throw any fucking names and shit. So from one person who knows where their rank in society is to a president, okay? I understand where you were coming from. I understand why you did what you did and shit. Why you said what you said. You backed the wrong fucking horse. You backed the wrong Seabiscuit, man. And we were the first ones to tell you on that. You didn't believe us. It's okay. You went off on your own drum. We go off on our own drums ourselves all the fucking time. That's fine. That's fine. But you really want to be on real good graces and everything. There's a little bit that I'm not quite sure you're getting so far.
Well, I mean, what else? I mean, I've been into the chat rooms. I've talked, you've got me doing some other things, I can make you guys bigger. I can bring you guys into the limelight. And I can. You've been on my podcast. You've been on others too. But you know what we can get you into.
Well, first off, I don't want you to accidentally be intimidated too by the freaking melted shit on my fucking face. I just got out of a competition. That was one of my drivers behind the camera. Don't be alarmed by him either, but he just got me in from another fucking Fed, so I'm fresh off of that boat right now and shit. I just got out of the war of a lifetime right now. You can see the with type of rat poison on my freaking hands and lips. Well,
You
anyway,
can keep that joint, by the way.
it's okay. It's okay. I brought somebody along with me because remember, you said you wanted to be in on the JWO, very specifically. Well, you see behind you, that's my wall. What? Now, let me ask you something, okay? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let me ask you something right now. Yeah. And it's not a dirty Harry, do you feel lucky? Do you really want this hatchet? Do you really want to be on the good graces of the JWO? Because remember, now that we've grown in perspective and in terminology, we've gotten a little bit strong-handed and a little bit more darker for that perception. And if you want that patch, my brother, you're gonna have to earn that. And not just the JWO patch. Getting your hatch is one thing, and that JWO patch is one thing, but if you want really in on our perspective and the real patch that I own for you on your little cut in the future, you're gonna have to at least, if not go through this wall, make a dent. You make that dent, and bro, you can have what the hell you want. Our lifestyle is simple because we believe in a simple little thing, and that's simplicity. It's simple to just go and kick somebody's ass, isn't it?
Can be.
Make it an even better simplicity. Remember those days when you could take a look at a situation and say, without a doubt, I got this. Do it now. Oh, and don't be afraid to use something to your advantage, too. I hope you filming this good. Keep on getting them pics. Come on, General. That's right. Dig in. Dig in, buddy. Dig right in. Yeah. Stay behind right there. Luca, you stay right there. You let this happen? Stay right there. Trust me, this is for his good right now. Put him down. Put him down.
No.
Now, stay right there, Pix. Now that you're on our playing field level, open up them eyes a little bit more. That's right now. Remember, we didn't ever want it to be this way, Sach. Never ever did. But your old Fed fucked you over good. This time, you're gonna be in with a group that actually cares for your well-being and what the fuck happens to you. Because remember, to get through me, they gotta go through the wall that you just had a taste of. That's just a brick in the wall, motherfucker. Remember this. This is your general from now on. Welcome to the JWO. And by the way, since I love the way that you keep books and you're so good with money, finances, all them nice ideas and everything, because you did such a loyal, good job with Mr. Pickles today, I think you just earned that keeper patch in the JWO. So when you come by and you get that stitched on, we're gonna hook you up royally. Come on. Come on.
Oh.
Got him?
Oh.
You're good. You're good. All right, carnival camp's right over there.